Welcome to another episode, and today we have a motherboard, laptop motherboard from UX325/425EA, and I believe this is ASUS ZenBook motherboard with 11th Gen i5. So quite a nice board, and it's very tiny. I mean, you can see the CPU is here, so compared to the CPU the board is not much bigger, and it has this like tiny non-standard Wi-Fi card which is like soldered to the board. So yeah, I bought it as faulty, just the motherboard and the heatsink, nothing else. And well, I bought it maybe for spare parts, or maybe I can extract the CPU if it's okay. But first of all, let's check if we can maybe fix the board and then save it and sell it as working. So I'll remove the heatsink just to expose the faces of the CPU, and we'll try to measure and see what's wrong with the board. And we are back with the heatsink removed. I have the board ready, multimeter. Let's go into resistance mode. Let's grab ground here. Actually, maybe let's flip it like this. It's gonna be more convenient for me, for my left hand here, to grab the ground, and we can start measuring. So we have a battery connector here, so I'm guessing this would be a charging coil. Let's see what's the resistance here. I mean, I don't expect issues here. 167, that's kind of low. I mean, maybe it's not a charging coil then. Let's see. And here that looks like a CPU phase. Maybe this is a CPU phase as well. What's this one? 350 for CPU. That's quite high, I would say. Once again, I mean, it's not shorted. It looks okay, whatever that is. Those two coils, I would guess 3 and 5 volts. 3 mega ohms and hundreds of kilo ohms, so probably yes. This one here, not sure what that is. $170, so maybe those are CPU coils actually. Measure similar. Are they connected? Yeah, so those are probably CPU coils, I'm guessing. Okay, then we have what looks to be a BIOS chip. So pin number 1 is here, so we measure pin number 8, and it's measuring kilo ohms, tens of kilo ohms, so fine. So we measured this one. Let's measure here. Oh, and we have a short. So this one, this here is shorted. So let's finish measurements. And this one looks fine in kilo ohms. And looks like there's another BIOS chip. Not sure what it's for. What is it for? But okay, the leg number 1 is here on this side, so let's measure number 8. And we have kilo ohms, tens of kilo ohms. So that looks fine. And the CPU is not shorted, looks like it. And the BIOS chips, not sure why there are 2 different chips, so not sure which one is the main one. I need to check that. But none of them is shorted, but we have a short on this coil over here. So I mean, I'm not gonna guess. I think there is a board view available for this board, so I can check. But anyway, let's do a voltage injection and see what's getting hot, and later we'll have a look. I'll have a look at the board view just to confirm what that coil is actually. Okay, so I have the board in front of me. You can see the CPU here, the frame of the CPU, and we have the ground probe connected here, and the coil we want to inject into is here. So let's inject and see what's getting hot. We're drawing, we have, well, I haven't said that, we have 1 volt and a limit on 2 amps, and when I touch it, it draws like 0.9 volt and 1.9 of an amp, so quite a lot, but I don't see anything getting warm on this side. Let me remove the protective film from the other side. Okay. And let's flip the board once I attach the probe and see what's getting warm. Actually, I think if you look at the memory chips here at the top, close to my head, you can see like spots on the memory chips. But, so I mean, not sure, maybe all of them are shorted, that wouldn't be good. But let's try and inject the voltage once again and try to, not sure if you can see, the 2 chips on the right side just have like one dot, 1 point where it's getting hot, and the one on the left, it actually has like all corners. So I mean, if I were to guess, I would start with this one, and because I don't have any way to check which one is faulty, so if I were to remove one, I would start with this one, but maybe it's because it's the closest to the coil. I don't know if it matters or not. But as you can see, this one is getting like warmer than the other 2, and the one in the middle is not getting warm at all. So yeah, let's see what's going on here. And we're back under the camera, and well, as you could see, this chip was getting hot the most, like in all 4 corners. Those 2 were only getting hot like in those corners here, and this one didn't look like it's getting hot. So that's strange, and we were injecting in this coil here. So I mean, of course I could try and remove the chips one by one to see if we can get rid of the short, and I would probably start with this one, as I said. But I mean, it can be that all of them are dead, or maybe those 3 are dead and only this one is good. I don't know. But one thing, before I start doing this, I would leave this coil. So this is the side of the buck converter here, and this is the load side. So if we leave the coil, it doesn't matter which side, as long as there's no continuity. Then we can check whether the short is on this side, so the buck converter, or on the load side, so the memory chips basically. So let's do that now. Let me switch on the soldering station. Let's now, which one would be better? Probably doesn't matter. Let's lift on this side. I'll put some flux on it. And we have a soldering iron, and we need some solder, like a lot of solder. to be able to get more heat. And now we try to lift the coil. So we need to melt the solder here and slightly lift the coil. The board is actually very thin, so it should be super easy, and it is. Just need to make sure there's no continuity here, so the solder is not touching. Okay, now it's okay. Let me clean the soldering tip quickly, and let's see now. Let's take the multimeter again, and now it's the moment of truth. I mean, not the big chance, but let's check which side is shorted. So let's first, do you see, you cannot see it now, okay. Ground, and let's see this side of the coil. Oh, and we have 6 ohms on this side. That's interesting. Am I touching the coil? No. 6 ohms. And on this side? It's that short. I mean, this one is definitely shorted, so basically the side of the memory chips. But 6 ohms on this side, it doesn't look right either. So it's possible that the buck converter is shorted as well. So probably I need to do a voltage injection once again and see what's getting hot. I mean, obviously the memory chips are probably faulty, but it's possible that we need to change the buck converter as well. Okay, so I'm injecting the voltage on the buck converter side. We're drawing 0.15 of an amp, and as you can see, the buck converter is getting warm. Maybe let's zoom in if we can a little bit, like so. That's our lifted coil right here, and we're gonna inject below, and you can see clearly the chip is getting warm. Alright, so I have removed the memory chips. So actually I removed the first one and it didn't help, so then I removed those two together. So I didn't check which one was faulty, probably both, I'm assuming. If I find a diagram for DDR4 memory, I can maybe check with the multimeter which one is shorted and which one is okay. But well, I removed those 3, so the one that was glowing in 4 corners and those 2 that were glowing in just 1 corner each. And did it help? Well, let me turn on the multimeter, grab some ground here, like so. Oh, sorry, the other way around. So that's our coil right here. I'll lift it so that it doesn't short on the other side. So on the buck converter side we still have 5.8 ohm, and I need to remove it and I need to order a new one. I'll do it off camera, doesn't matter. But on this side, on the memory side, we have 110 ohms, and that's a nice resistance for the memory. So yeah, I need to order those chips as well, because I don't have any donors or anything, unless I find it somewhere. But yeah, so we have to wait probably like 2 weeks for this chip and 3 memory modules, and once we have them, we'll solder them back on the board and see if we can fix it. And we are back 2 weeks later, and I got the parts from China. So I have the memory chips here, you can probably see. So I bought 4. I only need 3, so just spare one just in case if something is faulty or I do the soldering incorrectly or whatever. And we have this chip, so that's the power IC for the memory, so the back converter. Yeah, so I mean, I think I will start with this chip. I don't know if we replace it and it's gonna be fine. Then I'm just wondering, is the board going to work with just one memory chip? Probably not. Probably it's configured somewhere in the BIOS that it needs 8 gigabytes. But let's change the chip, and if everything's fine, then let's try if the board powers up with only one RAM chip. Alright, so as you could see, we have soldered all the missing RAM chips. So we have 4 now, all 4. And if we flip the board, let me check the resistances, especially on this coil that's responsible for RAM. It was over 100 ohms, I think, before, with one chip soldered, but the more chips, the more transistors, so the lower resistance should be. And let's check, let's measure here, and we have 34 ohms, so that looks kind of reasonable for RAM chips, and it's not shorted. Let's check other coils, kilo ohms, hundreds of ohms, 180, 180 the same, power rail, mega ohms and kilo ohms. Let's check the BIOS chips, that's hundreds of kilo ohms, and we should have something here. Okay, 90 kilo ohms. That looks good. So I guess it's safe to power on the board. Let me put the heatsink on just in case it works, and we'll see what's going to happen. Alright, so I have the board right here. As you can see, the HDMI is already connected. I will show you the screen on another video in the corner. So I'm connecting the power now, USB-C. Let's see what's going on. Is it getting warm? Right now not sure if you can see the diode on the monitor. It's red, I mean it's orange, let's say. You can see through the cables probably. Okay, now you can. It's orange. Is it getting warm? It's getting warm, slightly warm. And the light is blue, and we have a picture, guys. And what do we have? We have Intel 11 Gen Core i5, 16 gigabytes of memory, so looks like those chips are actually 4 gigs each, so total 16, and it seems to work okay. There's no CPU fan. CPU temperature is 37 degrees, so quite nice. And looks like we have a fix. I mean, I'll try to install an SSD and maybe somehow cool this heatsink, because I don't have the fan. So I'll try to figure something out and test the board a little bit more, but it looks like it's working. You're probably asking yourself, why am I showing you the fume extractor? Well, that's because I'm using it to cool the heatsink on this motherboard, which we just fixed. And since, you know, it only has 2 USB-C ports and HDMI, so HDMI is connected to external monitor. As I said, it's cooled with the fume extractor, and that's why you can hear the noise in the background. So probably I will have to record this audio again, do a voiceover. Anyway, it has only 2 USB-C ports, one of which I need to use to power up the board, and the second one is actually this USB-C to USB Type A splitter. So here I have mouse, keyboard connected, and the USB stick with Windows. So actually, as you can see, the board is working. I managed to install clean Windows 10 on it, and 2 things worth noting. So first one is, as you can see, I don't have the Wi-Fi antenna because I don't have the motherboard. So yeah, we can test if the Wi-Fi card is working. I created a hotspot on my Xiaomi phone, and the phone is right here, so you can see it's detecting the network. I tried to connect to the network, but it says it cannot connect, so probably it's good enough to actually detect the network. Sorry, I need to refresh it. Oh, see, it detects the network, but it's very very poor signal, and probably that's the reason why it cannot connect. I mean, I don't have any way to test it further, so that's that. And then we have the system. So just to confirm, it shows 16 gigs of RAM, so our memory modules are working as expected. And we have i5 1135 G7 11 Gen i5, so everything's looking good. I'm not gonna test it further, guys. You can see this setup, and it's really a pain to do anything. I mean, it's even difficult to connect internet. I would need to use like USB tethering or something on my phone, and then use some phone data. I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm really sure the board is fixed. Memory, and then the short on the memory power rail was the problem. So with that fixed, I'm 100% sure the rest of the board is working perfectly fine. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this repair. And since you made it till the end of the video, I'm pretty sure it's worth smashing that subscribe button.